I am good at this. Yeah, I'm really good at this. Okay. So, Comic-Con. I flew in Wednesday. My flight was waffling between being delayed and being not delayed. And eventually I made it. I worked preview night. I worked at the Konami booth. I volunteered to help run the demos and stuff. So, that was cool. I did that for most of the weekend. And then Thursday I had off, so I went around, explored the dealer's hall. And then, Takahiro Kagami, who is one of the greatest key animators of Yu-Gi-Oh, was actually signing. But to get his autograph, you had to go to the Kotobukiya booth to buy this hand thing. And I did that. I showed it off earlier, which unfortunately nobody saw or nobody heard because I was muted the whole time. I didn't even know. Nobody told me I was muted. Oh my god. And then, let's see. Oh, I tried going to It's Sugar because they had a has-been Hell of a Boss thing, but they sold out of the Angel Dust figure already. Wow, thanks Twitch for nothing. I heard Twitch was going to use our streams to train an AI, and I'm like, okay, good luck with that. That's really dumb too. I think I'll switch platforms if that happens too. Yeah, I'm gonna opt out, because screw that. But let's see, I had a half day Friday. I worked the first half. And then I wanted to go to the Rick and Morty King of the Hill panel, so I went to panels beforehand, because with Comic-Con, if you want to see a certain panel, you gotta go at least a panel or two ahead. And I caught the tail end of President Curtis, which had Keith David. I believe his name is Keith David. He was, he's voicing President Curtis, but he's also Husk from Hazbin Hotel and many other roles. It's so far! And then there was a Superman animated series, which I didn't even know was a thing, but it looks really good, and apparently they're on season 3. So that's exciting. I think I will try to watch that. And then I went, and then I saw the Rick and Morty panel. That was cool. They showed things from yeah, there you go. It showed scenes from the current season, the finale, and next season. Oh, I stood under that. I'm good at this. And then they had the voice actors for Rick and Morty and Summer and Jerry. Yeah, I really like Jerry's actor. He's a pretty cool guy. And then I sat through. I watched the King of the Hill panel, which was nice. They showed a whole episode from the new season. Which was kind of sci-fi comic con themed, which is kind of funny. And because they showed a whole episode, then they talked about the upcoming season and the next season, and they showed us an animatic from the upcoming season of Hank and Connie made a propane-powered car, which was very funny. And they showed that. And then I think that was cool. But because they showed a whole episode and then they talked about their stuff, they didn't have time for a Q&A. Whereas the Rick and Morty panel had a Q&A, but it was kind of awkward questions. Someone asked about the Spaghetti episode, the Spaghetti People episode. If a certain, what would affect the taste of the spaghetti. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you know those kind of trigger warning. And then someone asked about the giant size baby, and I was like, okay. That is weird. But it's Rick and Morty, so I don't know what I can expect from that. But, you know, King Hill didn't have time for Q&A, but they did acknowledge that, you know, we were missing some, oh, I am getting shot at. I died. I died. It was very painful. I died in the game. Okay, hold on. Rick and Morty, King of the Hill panel. And then I went outside to check out the outside stuff, because even if you don't have a ticket for Comic-Con that day, there's a lot to do outside of the convention. Oh. Well, I'm dead, so it doesn't matter if I tap the button or not, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, tapping the button does nothing. Yeah, no, Comic-Con was really fun. It's just outside it was really, like, it was humid and hot. But it wasn't, like, East Coast humid, so it was not bad. It was, you know, SoCal weather. Yeah, and then, they had, like, the outside activations. I think the most famous one was they were promoting the Scrooge, the new Scrooge movie starring Johnny Depp, and he came out of the building dressed as Scrooge. And apparently Ryan Reynolds was there as Deadpool, but like it was made of denim, so it was jean cool. That was cool. I did not see either of them. Yeah, I was, oh my god, I'm dumb. I was too close to the meteors in the middle. Oh yeah, so I heard people camped outside since Thursday for the Saturday Hall H panel, and even though the Marvel panel was in the afternoon, not everyone got in, and I was like, yeah, forget trying Hall H on Saturday, because that's awful. Like, imagine you camped out for like 2 days and you still couldn't get into your panel. Like, that's ridiculous. But, you know, I guess congrats to everyone who got into the panel. I don't know if they gave away anything there. That would have been cool. But, yeah, I heard that it was a problem with the Hall H. And I heard people were making fake wristbands to buy stuff at Funko. I'm like, man, come on, guys. You guys are ruining it. Like, people... So, like... So, you know, Friday I half day off. Saturday and Sunday I worked the full days. And I was running demos at the Konami booth for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and TCG demos, and our booth was right next to Jazzwares, which had a couple of exclusives as well. And every morning it was like chaos, because so the way Comic-Con works is for certain booths you had to get a ticket to get in. And to buy stuff is like, you have to get a ticket to come line up later to buy the stuff, right? But to buy stuff, either some of the larger vendors did online ticketing, but the not big ones like Hasbro, Mattel are like the big ones. Jazzwares, I guess, is not big enough, so they really should consider doing online ticketing, because it was like people had to line up in the beginning to get a ticket to come back later to buy their exclusives. And they had a Pokemon Meowth plush that was, I guess, an exclusive that sold out really fast every day. And there were like the first day they didn't check, but exhibitors basically got in the line and were able to buy stuff before attendees, which is kind of lame because as an attendee, you have to line up at like ass in the morning to be like first in line for everything else, including the dealer's hall. And when I say ass in the clock, I mean like 3, 4, 5 a.m. And those people still couldn't get to be like one of the first people in line to buy things before stuff sold out. And it's kind of like nutty. But yeah, that's just kind of Comic-Con. It's like a lot of lines, but if you kind of know how the lines work, then you'll have a better time of it, I feel like. But yeah, there's some off-site stuff I want to do. Like, I heard there was a Green Lantern off-site where you got enlisted to join the Lanterns, and they gave you like a Green Lantern ring at the end, but I couldn't get into that. But I got into the Fox Animation outside thing. I was like one of the last people in line, and they had like a Futurama espresso or express where you could like trade in a ticket to get like free coffee and some donuts, and they're all like Futurama branded, which was pretty cool. And next to it was a Kingwood Hill branded little food truck that gave away like fried rice and stuff. It was tasty. And then they gave away free Kingwood Hill hats, which is what I wanted. I wanted the hats, so I didn't really care too much about the food. But it's fine. It was fun. Oh yeah, no, the 501st have actually like a table that's kind of tucked away behind the dealer's hall, but it's usually, that area is meant for like community groups and things like that, so they always have a booth and they always bring their little droids and dress up and stuff, so it's really cool. Yeah, it's always fun for me to go to Comic-Con. I just wish I had like a ticket so I didn't have to, or like tickets for all the days so I didn't have to like work all the time, but it's also not bad. I like running demos too and getting new people into the card game. Like there's this one guy from China, his English wasn't that good, but I gave him like a one-on-one demo and he seemed really interested and he like bought some packs and stuff, and then yeah, so hopefully he gets into the card game. And there were these little kids that were probably no more than like 6 or 8 years old, and they were super cute, and they like played the demo and like they could play the cards, and like I play Launcher Spider in attack mode. Like it was very cute. And they were really good at the game actually by the time like day 4 rolled around, I'd say. Because, you know, they were playing against each other and they wanted to win a lot of the raffle prizes. Oh my god, this is empty. Okay, hold on. No fucks. Yeah, I always try to go to Comic-Con when I can. It's like the one convention I always go to for the convention itself. Versus like going to a con because I have to table or do artist alley, you know. Oh, that sucks. Well, hopefully you got better. I assume you got better because you're chatting right now. But you should check it out. I don't think the London Comic-Con's run by the same people, but I imagine it's the same kind of style. And that'd be cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all the way in London. I can see that. Well, I don't know where you live. If you live in London, then it might be closer than coming to San Diego. Oh, yeah, then that's not too bad at all. You don't have to pay for housing, technically, if you wanted to commute back and forth. Let me look that up, actually. See, London Comic Con. MCM returns October, late October. 300 euros. Oh, but you can still... Oh no, sold out. Oh, that's VIP. Well, here's a 3-day weekend for 100 euros? That's not too bad. Right? Well, it says the 3-day weekend is 100 euros, so that's like 35 bucks a day. American San Diego Comic-Con is like I'm trying to remember, but they do it separately. Okay, so each night it's $85 a day. Excluding Sunday, which is $64. So the total is like 400. If you get all 4 days plus preview night, I think it's like 400 something. And that's not even VIP. Like, it's just general. There is no VIP. I could be wrong about that. There might be a VIP where if you like donate to charity like a lot of money, they give you like the full ticket and maybe some VIP treatment, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, but for sure, I don't know, 100 euros for 3 days is not bad at all. But, well, compared to San Diego Comic-Con, I guess. Plus you gotta tack on, like, hotel, and, like, if you're traveling in the flight, or if you're driving, like, there were people working the merch booth that were, like, they drove from Tennessee. That was kind of crazy. So I chatted with them because it was kind of later in the evening and they were just about to wrap up, and I was just kind of curious like how the trip was for them. They were like, yeah, they said they drove cross country and like they like tried to go through Texas as quickly as possible. Not because it's Texas, but because the weather was terrible. Yeah, because it was like flooding, and I think it's still flooding too. But they made it okay. I just, I wish them good luck and have a safe journey back. So.